This is David with The Verge, and these are Toshiba's new Excite tablets, the Excite 7.7, the Excite 10, and the Excite 13. They're mostly replacing Toshiba's old Thrive tablets, which were big and clunky, and they're designed to basically be something for everyone. The hardware for all three tablets is pretty much the same. They all have aluminum bodies and plastic backs that kind of feel dimpled like a golf ball, and they're all silver and black, and so they look nice all together, but you probably won't be buying all three. They're all surprisingly thin and light, which is nice, though the 13-incher is pretty monstrous just because it's a 13-inch tablet. The biggest difference between the three models, other than just sheer size, are the ports. On the Excite 7.7, you get a micro SD slot plus micro USB, and on the Excite 10 and 13, you get a full SD slot plus micro HDMI, plus all the other stuff from the Excite 7.7. And the rest of the hardware is basically the same. You get two decent cameras, one facing the back and one facing the front, two decent speakers that point sound directly downwards, so it'll get kind of muted by your lap or a table, but the sound is pretty solid, and power and volume buttons that feel kind of flimsy but work pretty well. The other big difference, obviously, is the displays. The Excite 13 has a 1600 by 900 LCD, which is fine. The colors are a little washed out and contrast isn't great, but it's sharp. The Excite 10 has the same LCD at 1280 by 800, which is pretty much standard for a 10-inch Android tablet, and it really just looks like every other tablet we've seen. The Excite 7.7, though, has a 7.7-inch 1280 by 800 AMOLED display, and it looks amazing. It's just like the one in the Galaxy Tab 7.7. It has super dark blacks and super white whites, great contrast and color saturation, really good viewing angles, and just looks fantastic. In terms of software and performance, all three are basically the same. They run Android 4.0.3 with almost no customization beyond a handful of bloatware apps. It runs Android pretty well. There's nothing special, but no real problems that we've seen before. And that's actually the whole story with these tablets. Performance is solid without being overly impressive. NVIDIA's Tegra 3 processor powers all three tablets, and it's great. It's the same as we've seen on a lot of ASUS's tablets, and it's just a really solid tablet processor. Videos look good and games run really well. The biggest problem with gaming was on the Excite 13. Just because the screen is so large, it's actually hard to reach the on-screen controls with your thumbs sometimes, and that's not really a problem with performance. It's just kind of an awkward software quirk. Battery life is also pretty good on all three, and it gets better as you go to larger screen sizes. But what's really interesting about this whole lineup is how it segments tablet users. The Excite 13 seems kind of ridiculous at first, but if you just want to watch a lot of movies or do some web browsing and don't ever want to carry your tablet around, it actually makes a lot of sense. It has a big screen, it's easy to use, it has good viewing angles and long battery life, but it's certainly not portable. The 7.7, on the other hand, is super portable and has an amazing screen. It's really great for reading or using in one hand, but it's not so good for gaming or watching movies just because the screen is a lot smaller. The Excite 10 is kind of an odd middle ground, but maybe that's a good thing. It's still fairly portable, especially since it's so thin and light, but it's also big enough to be pretty good for movies. And it kind of makes clearer than ever that if you want an all-around tablet, 10 inches is probably about the right size. In the 10-inch range, there are so many other good options like the Transformer Prime or the iPad that it's hard to recommend the Excite 10, especially at $449, which is kind of right in the middle of the market. The Excite 7.7 is $499, which is really expensive for a 7-inch tablet. It's more than twice the price of the Kindle Fire or the new Galaxy Tab 2. The Excite 13, which starts at $649 with 32 gigs of storage, the other two come with 16, is also pretty expensive, but if you want a 13-inch tablet that looks kind of like a surfboard, then you really don't have another choice, so you should definitely buy the Excite 13.